What's good, Auburn fans? Once again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast talking Auburn football. In the late night hour, I call this the nightcap. We are talking Auburn football like it's nobody's business. Go ahead and like this video, comment, and subscribe to Vernon Speak Sports Auburn. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle. So, of course, we know the latest college football playoff ranking has come out, and you know, LSU, obviously the number one team in the country, and rightfully so, knocking off Alabama in their home territory in Tuscaloosa. Ed Orgeron gave a big middle finger to the Alabama Crimson Tide, saying that we are going to out-recruit you, we're going to outplay you, we are going to be better than you from here on out. Big shout out to Ed Orgeron, who thinks that he blew Alabama out, but only won that game by 5 points. So chill out, Ed Orgeron. Anyway, number two in that particular poll is Ohio State. Obviously, I think that's pretty cool. Clemson, then Georgia, of course. We got questions about Georgia. Those questions will probably be answered this week as Georgia comes down to Auburn to face the number 12 college football playoff Auburn Tigers. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because I want to go back. I like to dissect the game, and I like to talk about how things could possibly have an interesting outcome. Now, we feel that after the LSU game, Auburn 23-20, toe-to-toe against, now we know, one of the best teams in the country, LSU, gives Auburn, they gave Auburn a little love in the first playoff poll. And that led a lot of folks to believe, well, maybe Auburn could actually sneak in this thing if they can win out. Of course, winning out isn't winning out as far as like similarities to other schools. You're talking about winning out against now the number 4 team in the country, Georgia, and the number 5 team in the country, Alabama. If you win out those games, then if nothing else, you not only have a hell of a resume, but you actually have a chance to push the envelope for college football to start rethinking, the committee to start rethinking how to analyze the best teams in the country. You got to start looking at strength of schedule in a major way at a certain point, because there was nobody in the country that was being asked to do what Auburn was being asked to do. Now, of course, they didn't set the schedule up on purpose, but, I mean, I think it's something that you got to consider, especially if Auburn is able to win out and beat Georgia and Alabama, then having beaten Texas A&M and Oregon. Oregon's also, you're talking about a team that has had to basically play in the playoffs in the freaking regular season. So either way, this is my biggest question. Let's just assume Auburn does win out. And it's likely, as a matter of fact, ESPN is giving Auburn a 52% chance to win. Of course, Vegas doesn't like it. They're saying that Auburn is a 3-point underdog at home with an over under of 40 points. Vegas doesn't trust Auburn or Georgia's ability to score a lot of points. But let's say Auburn does win out. Is it possible? Is it even plausible that if they do win out and let's just say they squeak by Alabama and Georgia, will that game against Ole Miss, because you know the committee is going to be super picky about a team that's a 2-loss team and a 2-loss team that's not even going to, that's the only way they're going to Atlanta is if they buy tickets to go see the game. They're not going to the SEC championship, period, because LSU is not going to lose to Mississippi State and Arkansas. I really don't care what kind of disaster comes up. Not happening. So is it possible, guys, that Auburn not taking advantage of the opportunity to get the style points against Ole Miss, will that come back to haunt? Of course, having all the opportunities, Bo Nix with the turnover, a couple of missed field goals. Next thing you know, it's a ball game late. Auburn having to have the late interception to secure the deal. But those are little things that you have to consider when you're playing from behind. And, of course, the SEC is just a tough conference to play in. I mean, the SEC cannibalizes itself all the time. I actually thought that this is a season that even the mighty Alabama could possibly have multiple losses in the season, and it could very well transpire. The only factor in either Georgia or Alabama game is, will Bo Nix finally show up? Will the offensive line for Auburn finally show up? And will Gus Malzahn actually call a reasonable football game? So, like I said before, my biggest question at this point, is it possible that a 20-14 game, assuming Auburn wins out, will it cost them an opportunity to be the first, not only two-loss team to get it to ease into the playoffs, but the first two-loss team to ease into the playoffs without even having to go to their conference championship? Very well could happen. Now, here is a way, in my opinion, that Auburn could actually supplement missing the opportunity to get the style points against Ole Miss. They need to double-digit Georgia. I think Georgia is the team that gives the best opportunity, because I think Auburn's defense matches with what Auburn's defense is able to do from a versatility standpoint. I think Auburn's defense gives the best opportunity to continue to give the ball back to their offense, especially at home. Bo Nix has played okay at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Also, you don't have the crowd noise as a factor to disrupt the rhythm of the offense. I think Auburn has had 2 weeks to figure out personnel packages to where they could kind of outflank Georgia on substitutions. So, if there's going to be a chance for Auburn to be a two-loss team that's going to glide past the SEC championship and make it to the playoffs, it's going to have to come with a dominant win over Georgia. A 40-17-ish victory over Georgia. All right, guys. Once again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast Talking Auburn Football. Go ahead and like this video, comment, and subscribe to my channel, your channel, Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle.